Hey everybody, I'm Gary Hughes with Silencerco. We're over here at Red's Trading Post today doing a promotion. We wanted to kind of go over a couple of our products that we're doing. First one we have here is our 22 Sparrow 22 rimfire suppressor. The Sparrow is a multi-caliber suppressor. It's also capable of being used on 22 short, 22 long rifle, 17 HMR, 17 Mach 2, 22 Magnum, 5.7 by 28 FN, and the 22 Hornet. So a pretty versatile little unit. Silencerco is a different kind of company. We start the design and R&D process with specific design goals. We don't come out with a product simply for the sake of having an entry in the market in any given product category. When we design to be better than current offerings on the market in some way. And when we started designing the Sparrow, the original Sparrow, this is the new 22 Sparrow stainless steel, our primary design goal was to have the easiest 22 long rifle suppressor in the world to clean and maintain. Typically, rimfires are extremely dirty, and you get a lot of fouling in them, and over time, that fouling builds up, reduces the interior volume of the suppressor, and the suppressor will get louder and louder progressively. And if it's a sealed suppressor, eventually you've got to send it back and have the manufacturer cut it apart and clean it, and that's going to cost you money. With our design, we wanted to have a suppressor that was user maintainable, and we came up with a pretty unique idea. Most of the fouling that happens in a 22 rimfire suppressor occurs on the inside of the main tube, and what happens is, as that builds up, it builds up surface area on the inside of the tube, and it gets really tough to move that baffle stack in and out of the tube. So competing designs on the market, that's a flaw with all of them, that you have to push, pull, or beat the baffle stack through all that fouling, and you can also get fouling on the threads, which makes them very difficult to disassemble, and you have to use tools a lot of times to do that. With our design, we came up with a pretty unique solution. We've got an end cap. The main tube, which is the serialized part, is just a sleeve on our design, and it holds the rest of the pieces together. This is where it gets really unique. Our suppressor has what we call half pipes, or multi-part containment technology, and it's a shield essentially that keeps the fouling from reaching the inside of the main tube, which makes it very easy to disassemble, because instead of trying to pull that fouling or push the core, through that fouling, what we do is we simply pull the fouling away from the core. And so no matter how dirty this suppressor gets, regardless of round count, it's always just that easy to disassemble for cleaning and maintenance. A lot of our competitors that do have disassemblable suppressors, you have to adhere to a very rigid maintenance schedule, a couple hundred rounds. That's not the case with ours. You can go shoot 1,000 rounds through it between cleanings, and it'll still disassemble just that easy for cleaning. Some things that have changed from the old model are that the new Sparrow is 1 inch shorter than the original Sparrow. The core is now made of stainless steel instead of anodized aluminum. We do black oxide finish this, and we completely redesigned the baffle stack. And this redesigned stack is very efficient. So even though we made the suppressor 1 inch shorter than the previous model, it got between 2 and 4 decibels quieter than the original Sparrow, depending on the host firearm. And because of the use of stainless steel, we're now also able to rate it, and it is capable of being used on the 5.7 and the 22 Hornet. Something else that's fairly unique, we have O-rings on our core, and the O-rings help with the half pipe to seal off the gases from fouling the inside of the main tube. So the main tube always slides on and off very, very easily. And we also have an O-ring at the end of the inside of the threads. And what that does is, in conjunction with our proprietary thread adapter, when you screw that down, that O-ring engages that flat and it seals the thread compartment off so that you don't get fouling on the thread, so the suppressor always comes on and off of the firearm easier. And it also puts just a little bit of tension on there so you don't have as much torque rotation effect, and the suppressor is going to stay on tighter for a longer period of time, so you're not going to have to constantly reach up and make sure that it's on there tight. So pretty unique design, easy to take apart, easy to clean, easy to maintain, world-class sound reduction. It's as good as anyone's, if not better, in the sound reduction category now. Much better than the original Sparrow. Super easy to reassemble, and put back on your host. So that's the 22 Sparrow in a nutshell. And one of the other advantages of the stainless steel construction is that now the Sparrow is dippable. You can use it with some of the peracetic acid dips for cleaning and maintenance. Makes it a little easier to clean as well. So that's the Sparrow. The other model that we've got is the 45 Osprey, or 9 or 40. I'll just go over the 45. The 45 Osprey, again, we're a design goal oriented company. We wanted to create the quietest centerfire dry 45 ACP suppressor in the world. That was the primary design goal. Secondary design goal was we wanted to be able to use the Osprey on more pistols without the use of tall suppressor sights. So we kind of did a lot of looking around and research, and what we came up with was we wanted to do an eccentric design, a design that's not round and concentric. So what we were able to do is we were able to drop most of the baffle stack beneath the center line of the bore. What that allowed us to do was to put more internal volume in here. So this suppressor has about 30% more internal volume than a competitive design that's round. That also helped move the suppressor out of the sight picture. You can't really see it on this video, but if you look on our website, you can see the sight picture, what it looks like with most host firearms, and it's you have greatly reduced sight obscuration, and more importantly, you have greatly reduced target obscuration with this model. Proprietary core, single piece core, two-piece on the tube. That's one of the other things that makes this design fairly unique in the market. The back cap is the serialized part, and that's also the strongest part. So this Osprey is the safest bet for your tax stamp dollar, because this part of the suppressor is the least likely to be damaged in the event of a baffle strike or an overpressure type situation. All of this part is replaceable in a warranty situation without another tax stamp. As far as sound suppression goes, it is the quietest dry centerfire 45 ACP can in the world. It is truly hearing safe. Typical sound output, depending on the host pistol and the HK, it's around 131 to 132 decibels. Unsuppressed, it's around 165, somewhere in that 162, 165. So truly hearing safe. Anything under 140 decibels is considered to be hearing safe, and we're right around 132 with this. That's a dry sound output. If you wet the suppressor, it's significantly quieter, and we have a lot of videos on our YouTube channel that show that, our website and our YouTube channel. One of the other things that people really like about the Osprey is the versatility. It's a multi-caliber suppressor as well. Simply by changing the booster or piston assembly, as we call it, you can change the caliber. The 45 Osprey can be used simply by changing the pistons on the 9mm, the 40 caliber. It can also be used on 357 SIG, 10mm, etc. So virtually any defensive class handgun caliber, the Osprey will suppress. You can shoot supersonic ammo through it, you can shoot subsonic ammo through it. Obviously it's quieter with subs. It's really super easy to change those pistons out. I'll show you that on the video here real quick. Simply remove the suppressor from the host. We've got a cam lever and a brake, and so to remove the piston, you simply disengage the cam lever, make sure the brake is out of the way. Every Osprey is supplied with one of these tools. You put the tool on the piston and simply unscrew it, and the piston assembly will come right out, and you can change it with a different thread pitch and use it on a different caliber. That's what the piston assembly looks like. So what you would do is you would just remove the spring retainer, remove the spring. This is the actual piston itself, and you can buy these. They're $75 retail. So you can buy one suppressor, one $200 tax stamp, multi-caliber versatility simply by changing that piston. You can shoot 9, 40, 45, whatever. It can also be used with subsonic rifle cartridges like the 300 AAC Blackout. And that's been a pretty popular thing. We do make a 5/8 by 24 piston and a fixed barrel spacer for use on rifles. It can only be used with subsonic ammunition. It cannot be used with supersonic. It's too much pressure. That'll just drop right back in. Simply screw that back down. Just finger tight with the tool. Throw the cam and you're back in business, and you can put that back onto your host pistol. Now when you take that off, one of the unique design challenges presented by this eccentric design is it's probably not going to line up just right. It may shoulder and be lined up like that. Indexing the osprey is really, really easy. You just throw the brake in the cam, then the suppressor will spin 360 degrees around the barrel. You can just line it up, throw the cam, and now it's indexed. Now you can take the suppressor on and off, and it'll return to that index point until you remove the piston again for cleaning or maintenance. The Osprey is a sealed unit. The only thing that needs cleaning and maintenance is the piston. You can just remove that piston, clean it like you would a normal firearm with your favorite cleaning solvent or oil. We put a little bit of white lithium grease on them so that they snap back freely. And when they snap back like that, you're in good running shape. I think that's about it. Thanks for watching, and come down and see us.